This is the central storeroom for the library. The library here is famous. It is the accumulation of manuscripts that have been built up here over the centuries. The climate here is very dry and very stable, and the monastery has never been destroyed and never been abandoned in all of its history. For all those reasons, over the centuries, an incredible library was built up. The books that you see above are the early Greek printed books. We have 8,000 early Greek printed books. The more important texts for scholars and visitors are the ones that you see below throughout the room. They are behind the screens on horizontal shelves. We have 3,300 manuscripts altogether. I have manuscripts that I would like to show you. The first is a lectionary. A lectionary is the Gospels for reading in the services. This is open to the beginning of the Gospels according to St. Luke. On the left, you see a very beautiful illumination depicting the evangelist Luke. He is poised, beginning to write his Gospel. So it is a splendid text. And then when you turn the rest of the pages, the Gospels have a title in gold and pigments, but then the text is written in ink. The red that you see is early music notation. The Gospels were never read with a spoken voice. They were intoned for greater clarity in an acoustic environment, and these are early music notations to guide the intonation of the Gospels. If you look carefully, you see where candle wax was dripped on the page, you see finger marks, so these texts were used over the centuries. This was made in Constantinople. It dates from the 11th century. One of the amazing things is that I could take it and use it in the services today because the language and the readings have remained exactly the same. That is an indication of the incredible continuity that exists here at Sinai. The next manuscript is a 9th century Psalter. It is a parallel text written in Greek and Arabic side by side. In the 9th century, Greek was written all capital letters with no word separations between the words. The Arabic was written in Kufic Arabic. It is not an easy alphabet to read among Arabic speakers today, but it is very artistic. And the significance of this is in the translation of the scriptures and services into Arabic. We know the Arabic rule came to this part of the world in the early 7th century. By the 8th and 9th centuries, Christians were speaking Arabic as their native language, and it was important to have the services and the scriptures translated into Arabic. This is a text that dates from that time, and it also shows a community of speakers of Greek and a community of speakers of Arabic living side by side, and a manuscript needing to serve the needs of both communities. The third manuscript that we have is the most illuminated manuscript of the latter. The latter is the most important text written here at Sinai. It was written by the Abbot John, who was here in the later 6th and early 7th century, because he had gained great respect as a spiritual director and as a wise and experienced guide. When he became the abbot here, he was asked to write a spiritual treatise. The person writing the letter said, "Give us the tablets, the way Moses received the tablets from the hand of God. Show us the way from earth to heaven, the way Jacob saw the vision of the ladder that extended from earth to heaven." And so he took that motif and he called his work The Ladder of Divine Ascent. It is a work that has been treasured ever since the 7th century because it describes how to acquire the various virtues as we mature as Christians and ascend the spiritual ladder from the first steps to the most advanced. The ladder ends with the same lesson that St. Paul brings in the first epistle of the Corinthians. Now there abide faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of all is love. So the end point of the latter is the vision that St. Paul set out in his epistle to the Corinthians. It is a spiritual guide that has been respected not only among monastics, but by lay people as well. Technology changes at a dizzying speed, but human nature doesn't change. And so the advice that he gave us on how to be humble, how to acquire the different virtues, is still the advice that we need to hear today.